Hello, and thanks for joining us for this demonstration of Groove. My name is Dave Angsberg, and feel free to contact me after the presentation with questions or comments. Groove is a solution for mobile monitoring and control. Groove is totally web-based. You use Groove and your browser to easily build live web pages for your system and then view them on any web browser. One of Groove's functions is to be a web server. When you connect to it with your browser, it will display the pages that you've built. Groove comes in two flavors. One flavor is the Groove Box. The Groove Box is sort of an appliance. It is about as plug and play as you can get. Very simple to set up, and it just runs. The other choice is to run Groove on your own Windows machine. You can see it comes in several variety of Windows versions. This can be a great choice for applications where you've already got a PC or a server available in the system. The box sells for $19.95 and Groove Server for Windows sells for $17.95. I want to start by showing a small existing Groove application, and right now I'm running what you're looking at is actually Groove Google Chrome browser. It's just a standard browser, and I've got a page open, and I'm connected to my Groove box through the URL. And the application that I have shows a water tank that is being controlled to maintain a certain level and temperature. Here in my office, I have an Opto22 controller connected to a training panel with sensors and switches and buttons and knobs and lights, and I can control the level of the tank with a rotary pot, and when I raise the level of the tank far enough, the pump turns off. You can see there's a pump status LED, and when the tank level drops down too low, the pump will turn on again to start filling the tank. There you can see the pump status turned on. So that's what I have here. I can adjust the temperature as well. There's a PID control that's maintaining temperature. The objects on the screen are called gadgets. Gadgets are designed to be clear, consistent, and very visual. They are designed to provide information without you having to think about it. This screen has several gadgets, gauges and slider, plot, some buttons and text. Here's a graphic image, and down at the bottom here are two live video feeds from IP cameras. Groove uses a technology called SVG, stands for Scalable Vector Graphics. As I change my screen size, you'll see that all the gadgets and even the video cameras all scale gracefully. Rather than the objects being clipped off the screen or chopped off, everything scales to size however I size it, and that's pretty slick. Same thing with other sort of browsers. If you're using and devices, if you're using a phone, it scales to a phone. If you're using an iPad, it scales accordingly, and it's very nice. So let's see how easy it is to add a few things to a web page. So what I want to do is I want to go over here, click on this gear, and I can we've switched to Groove build mode. We've been in Groove view mode so far this far, and we'll switch to build Groove. The reason I can switch to the build mode is because I logged in as a user that has editor privileges. So Groove was built from the ground up. It's built with the latest internet technologies. We made Groove incredibly easy to use. It's intuitive and quick and easy and very affordable. All the pages that I've built show up here on the left-hand side, and I can pick which page I'd like to edit. There's no limit to the number of pages I can have in my project. We're going to add a few gadgets to this page. In the lower right corner down here is my gadget palette. So what I can do is come down here and I can grab this gadget called a round gauge. I just simply drag it up onto my screen and I can resize it if I wish, make it a little bigger, and then put it where I want to. Then I come up here to this area, which is called the properties area. Displays the properties for the gadget that's currently selected. And here's the tag property, and when I click on that, I can pick the tag. In this case, I'd like to look at the analog input point and the temperature. And all these tags were loaded into the Groov when we connected to our controller. So we easily find the tag we're looking for and we choose it. I can set a couple other properties in this properties window. We can say go to 0 to 100. We'll have 1 decimal point, and I'm going to set the units to degrees F. So now I can come down to my gadgets and grab a horizontal slider, drag it up onto the screen, and size it and move it around where I want. Come back over here to my properties window, pick on my tag, and this is going to be a numeric variable, and I'm going to pick temperature set point. So now I close. So now this gadget is tied to the set point for my temperature control. I can put in a couple more of the properties here, set point, and set the range to 100, 1 decimal point again, and that's it. The next step here, if we want to see this in action, we go up here to File and we pick Save All Changes and switch to Groov View, which will automatically take us to the view, and you can see here's my temperature gauge and my set point. I can roll my set point back down a little bit, and we'll see that temperature come down as we move on. So the live data is coming from my control system being brought into the Groov and displayed on my browser. Notice we've never left Google Chrome the whole time. I'd like to just show a few more pages here with a couple of the gadgets. This is a navigation bar over here where we can show all the different pages that we've built, and they're organized by category, and we can just pick the one we want. Another method of getting around is to come over here to these navigation gadgets. So we can, when I built this screen, I put a link to the temperature screen, and I click on temperature, and it takes me right to that screen. Here's another way of doing it. It'll take us to the level screen, and you can see that that we've got these navigation things all over the place. So I'd like to explain Groov's architecture, and what I've done is I've created a Groov page, and the only gadget on the page is an image gadget, and I happen to load a PowerPoint screen into the image gadget. So Groov's architecture is very secure. It's the Groov box has 2 Ethernet ports. One port is connected to your I/O network, which is controllers and I/O units, and the other Ethernet port is connected to the IT network. And these 2 networks are completely isolated to provide tight security. All the communications on the IT network is secure. We're using an encryption technology called Secure Socket Layer, or SSL. It's the same technology that banks use for online banking. The 2 networks are completely separate. The control network is on one side, and the IT network is on the other. Everything on the IT network is Secure Socket Layer. The best way to connect from the outside world into a system like this would be to dial in and connect via VPN connection, and then log into the Groov box using Secure Socket Layer. So with VPN and secure socket layer, there's really no better security. With another point about architecture, with our current release, is that the Groov talks only to the Opto22 SNAP PAC controllers. But you can use the SNAP PAC controllers to bridge to systems that use Ethernet IP, Modbus, BACnet, and many other protocols. For Allen Bradley, specifically, we provide a bridge that connects the Ethernet IP to the Groov. But most exciting of all is our coming support for OPC UA. This technology allows Groov to work with any system that offers an OPC UA server. Groov will be an OPC client that talks to the OPC server. That is going to be huge. We're still in view mode, and we can pick from the screens here, and I'm just going to jump around to show some of these other screens. For the view mode is the default mode when you connect to your Groov from your browser. For security, you can configure users and groups and assign levels and privileges to them. Pages can be restricted to certain users or groups. All the pages are actually stored in the browser when Groov application is loaded into your browser. And once it's loaded, the only communication that takes place between your browser and the Groov box is for the live data. It's very fast and very efficient. Here's a great feature for remote users. One of the pages we have set here is for emailing and text. When we get a level or a temperature alarm, the system is set up to email and text with a link to the specific page on the Groov site. So here's my email address and here's my my phone number. But I'm going to raise the level of the tank, and we're going to get a level alarm, and you can hear that. What'll happen is that if I flip over to my email, I just got a level alarm in. I'm going to double click on that, and there's a link to my Groov box, and we go through the secure certificate, and it's going to load Groov and take me directly to my level screen, and here's a button. I can silence the horn. So that's a pretty nice feature. We can email from the controllers and link right to the Groov box. So there you have it in a nutshell. Groov is a super simple way to build mobile ready devices for almost any browser. You can monitor and control your system from your browser. Groov has security built in. You can choose from the Groov box or from the Windows version. And coming soon, we'll have OPC Client, which will provide communications to a huge number of different PLCs and devices and systems. So thank you very much for your time.